I would like to talk about triads now. Triads are pretty tricky to play over guitar because it's kind of spread in a weird way over the neck. What I would like to talk about is actually using those triads as targeting notes and using the notes around them to pretty much create some kind of a sound and improvise that way. So it's a pretty powerful tool if you can take those triads and put them all over the neck and see where they are by adding a half a step before or after each note. You have a lot of options to work with. So that's what I'm going to show you and develop this kind of concept. So we're going to start with the most basic triad of C. So C, E, G. Now first thing we want to do is we want to find that triad in a few different positions. So let's say this is the first position. Then this position. This position. And going back on the neck to here. So as you can see, it doesn't really sits well on the guitar. You have to kind of jump around and move your fingers and stuff. Now, I'm not talking about playing the triad fast. I'm talking about seeing the triad on all positions. Now, the next step is we're going to add a half a step before each note of the triad. So we're going to take the first position, which is this. And we're going to add a half a step before each note. So now what you want to do is you want to do that on all positions. So I'm going to do it just really quick, just randomly play that all over the neck. So now this sounds like a pretty simple idea, but if I'm going to get a click now and try to think about it rhythmically and try to improvise like that, you can actually come up with ideas because these are three notes. The C triad is 1, 2, 3, and now you have a B triad just underneath it, so that's another 3 notes. So it's almost like you have a scale with 6 notes. So that could turn into something. Let me show you. So again, C triad. Now half a step before each note. So now if I'm going to start thinking about this rhythmically and just basically playing with both of those notes, this is what it's going to sound like. The next step will be now to play a half a step above each note of the chord. So it'll be, if we're in C major triad, we're going to play half a step above each note, which will sound like this. Again, I'll play it fast all over the neck. That's got a little more of a Phrygian kind of sound because of the flat 9. So it sounds like this. So now we have the triad of the C and then a triad of C sharp major. So that's why it sounds kind of Phrygian. So again, if I'm going to get a click and improvise on that and think rhythmically about this thing, it will sound like a little more kind of Spanish sounding, but still. now that we have the half a step below and half a step above, we can use both together, which is really, really powerful. Now what we're going to get by doing that is, this is how it's going to sound. It's basically taking those targeting notes of the chord and playing half a step below and above. So again, this is the triad. So now half a step below, above, and the note of the chord. So now I'll do it all over the neck. Now you can do it the opposite way also. You can play half a step above, half a step below, and the chord note. So now if I want to improvise this way, it gives me almost a chromatic scale, because you have the triad of the C. You have half a step below, which is a B triad. And you have half a step above, which is a C sharp major triad. So that's that could be looked as a 9-note scale out of 12 notes. That's almost chromatic. Now the idea again when I improvise over this is to have the chord notes, the target notes, be the ones that you play around. So that way you keep the listener or yourself in the harmony that's going on, and you kind of play around those notes. So let me do that with a metronome. So C triad. Now I'm gonna just So as you can see, it's full of harmony now, because there's so many notes that you can use. And again, the key is to play around the notes of the chord. Otherwise, if you just play random notes, it might sound disconnected. Now let me do that over a track of music from one of my records. This one is called Ha, and it's in A flat, and it's just a vamp with a root, but it's a major chord, so I can really kind of show you how much color you can put into this. So A flat major triad. So now half a step before each note. Spanish sounding, you know? So now I'm going to use half a step below and half a step above all together.